All right, we'll jump in. Welcome everybody to your weekly wellness check. It's intended to just be friends getting together to talk about Peloton, the inner workings of Peloton, what's been going on, talk about connected fitness, what's going on in our fitness journeys. We talk about other players other than Peloton, but we just happen to be a lot of folks that are fans of Peloton, so we talk about that most. If you'd like to join the conversation, please don't hesitate to just hit the hand and lower right of your phone, and we'll bring you up right up on stage, and you can join the conversation. If that's uncomfortable for you at all, please don't stress on it. Don't worry about it. Just kind of hang out in the audience. It's not meant to be any stress. It's just meant to be friends kind of having a conversation. So, so I guess we just jump in. I made the agenda, right? And then there was someone in the group. We do this for everybody out there. You probably all already know this. In my Run, Lift, and Live group, we talk about these topics like all week. And then Wednesday, we throw out a poll to say, okay, what do we want to talk about? What do we want the topics to be when we talk on Thursday night? And then people vote, and then the highest things, make the list, and some things that didn't really get any votes kind of fall off. So that's how it goes. And last week we couldn't do it because I had a prior thing that I had to do, so we couldn't do it. But that week it was about to be hot on the topic of Danielle McKenna, right? And so this week, and I wasn't planning to talk about it. This week it was not high, but it was in the priority list, right? It was in there. And I'm still not planning to really talk about it, but I felt like maybe I should just address why. And so the reason why I keep kind of excluding it from the conversation is because, it's based in a topic that is deep for me, right? There's a lot there. It's like real serious, right? Like when I was a kid, I faced racism, right? It's like right in front of me, right? I faced it. It was very direct. And when I got married, I faced racism. Like it was very direct. Like me and Erica had rented a place, got it all settled over the phone, had everything all ready, showed up at the place, and they saw our faces and said, "You can't rent here." Right, like I just have faced in corporate America. I had a superior ask me once, "How come he couldn't call me a nigger?" I've had, so I've just had it like very direct. Like Erica at one point got deathly ill, and she wouldn't have been that way had the physician who was treating her appreciated the pain that she was talking to, and he never did, and she ended up passing out at home one day, and I had to call the 911, and it was a big whole thing, and she's in the hospital for months, all over like thoughts of the pain of an African American, how they didn't quite buy it, what she was saying. So I've just faced racism in so many places, in so many ways, and so it's a serious topic to me, which aligns to why I do equity work now. Right. So when I hear things come up where there's both sides, accusations of racism in some way or bias in some way, right? There's some in the camp of Peloton talking about things Danielle McKenna did that have bias components to it. Then there's other folks in the camp of Danielle McKenna saying Peloton did these things and they have racism and bias in them. Like, that's such a serious thing and so deeply ingrained in my life that I would have to know some very specific facts before I dive deep into that. And until then, it would be too emotional for me to hear people giving opinions on both sides and arguing about it. Right? So, until it gets clearer, I'm just kind of avoiding it, if that makes any sense. So I just thought I would lead with that so you guys know why I keep leaving. It's like everybody's talking about it, but I keep leaving it off the agenda. That's why. So anyway, I jump into the first topic then. The first topic I have on the agenda is this whole Tread Plus refund period extension thing. I mean, so we were thinking all this time that we had until what was it, like, what was it, Danielle, like November, I don't know, 6th or something, sometime
November. I think it's November 6th of this year.
Right. It was like November 6th we had, and everybody's going, man, especially a person like me, like I got my Tread Plus in 2018, and so my mind is thinking 4 years in, I've gotten good use out of it. It's been wonderful. And then I could get all my money back. And so you start asking questions of that's kind of enticing. Are they going to continue to support it? Are they going to come out again? So you're trying to get all these things in place to kind of measure and weigh whether or not you should, take them up on it. And in the end, my conclusion was, I just enjoy it too much. Right? I just enjoy it too much to send it back. So I never sent it back. But now that they've come out and extended it for another year, the first thing that came to my mind was, are there people out there all pissed off now? Like they sent theirs back, and now they're like, well, if I had known I had more time to think about it, maybe I wouldn't have. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, is there like some context there going on? Or is everybody who just sent it back just happy they got their money back and they all good? Right? So that's what I wanted to hear from you guys. I didn't know if there anybody in the audience or anybody here that had a Tread Plus and sent theirs back, or had a perspective on it. Let's see. What's going on, Chris? I didn't get him up yet. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, John, how are you tonight?
Doing good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I was just going to chime in and say I've seen a decent number of comments of people who were upset that they sent their tread in the last month or so.
Yeah.
They were of the opinion they would have kept it another year, given, if they had known this was coming. So I think there's a decent number of people who are, wishing they could have kept it for another year before getting that refund.
That's what I'm thinking too, right? Yeah, there's got to be people that felt some level of pressure and were making like a teetering kind of decision, like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? I figured there had to be people like that would now be going, oh, had I not had that pressure in my mind, maybe I'd have held out.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, it seems like most of the people commenting still would have planned to return it in a year. They would have just enjoyed using the Tread Plus for another year before they got all their money back.
Oh, I got you. I hear you. Mine is like a slightly different. Like mine is like, I just eventually came to the conclusion that I was like, I just enjoy this too much, so I'm just going to keep it. So like mine's the reverse. So now after having already made that decision, a month ago or so, to then hear that, now I'm going, oh, okay, well, next year it'll be 5 years old. Maybe I'll return it then. Right? Right? But I had already come to the conclusion, like, I ain't returning that thing. That's it. I'm keeping it.
I'm with you, John. I'm planning to keep mine, but I have a whole year to decide if I change my mind or not.
Right. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm like, maybe I'll change my mind and,
Well, in a year, they might have that Stairmaster out, and then you can return it for that, right?
Exactly. In a year, maybe I could just trade it in full price, Yeah. So I don't know. I'm also trying to figure out, like, what does this all mean, right? Like, in the note, Uncle Barry says, we're still working on a fix, right? They're saying they're still working on something for the...
Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that was actually the most interesting part of the note, I thought. That was kind of the first time that Barry has publicly mentioned it again, really, and to explicitly say they're still actively working on it, and, it's going to be a rear guard. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they were finally doubling down on the fact they are really trying to get it back on the market. A lot of times no investors have really asked about it on any of the earnings call for the last several quarters, so it's never come up.
Right. It's like very odd to me too, because it's like, for that reason, because it never comes up, like you said, number one. And then number two, I know they've got like a boatload of hardware in general that they're trying to get out of these warehouses. And so, you know, and then number three, we know that is a mega device. That's a huge device, you know, a huge heavy device. And so, and we know they're kind of moving towards this model where they're trying to figure out how to get these things kind of delivered kind of self-assembly. So like when I would add all those things together, my mind would just go like, how in the world can that, why would they want that to come back? Right? So yeah, like hearing that, well, yeah, we're still working on it is interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of seems like from all the, you know, things they were saying and implying, it just seemed like they might let it, you know, slowly disappear and never come back, you know, and it just kind of would be a thing they used to have and just, you know, let it go away.
Right. That's kind of what I was seeing too, I thought. But yeah. And you know, and another thing is the fact that my mind keeps going, there are already other products or treadmills that I've seen that have some type of a guard in the back, or at least underneath in the back, so nothing can completely roll under. And then, you know, remember immediately after the CPSC said what they said, we saw like individuals creating their own devices. I don't know if you remember that. I mean, like within like a week, it was like really quick. There were these devices that were being manufactured by individuals and you know, small companies to solve for this. So when I saw that, and considering I know there are other things in the space already that have something like that, it just made me think, well, why has it been so long, right? Like, wouldn't it have already occurred had they truly been working on it? And so
I agree. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, one thing, you know, with how the initial recall and all that went down, the CPSC is probably not wanting to do Peloton any favors.
Yeah.
So I imagine the Peloton fix is at the bottom of their list of things to work on, and they're going to take their time as much as they want to, just based on how much pushback Peloton did on the initial recall.
Yeah.
So there could be a little of that in play as well, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, they could be like, yeah, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. And then I was also thinking it could also be that they're like, or that Peloton may have been like, yeah, we're intending to do this, but they had so many other pressing things over the past, you know, year and some months that it's been on the list, but maybe they really weren't really working on it. They were just intending to, while they were dealing with, you know, cutting down the workforce and changing out the C-suite and figuring out whether or not they want to sell off particular businesses. And like, you know, maybe it was just on the list, but they really weren't working on it. And now they are.
Could be. It's probably some combination of all that and some other things, you know. It's Peloton's taking their time, and then anytime they send something over, CPSC's taking their time. So it's just, you know, a very slow rolling thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And but it also, like, as it relates to this idea that now we have like another year to decide and get full refund on the Tread Plus, and it also made me wonder, like, how does this relate to that, right? Like, couldn't they have still continued to work towards a fix while also just letting the time run out? Like, why did they have to reset the time for another year?
I wonder if that was more of a financial decision. Like, maybe they've been hearing how many people are planning on returning, and maybe numbers have been picking up. And maybe they're just of the opinion that if they can extend it and they really do have a fix, that will minimize the number of people who actually end up returning it and the number of $5,000 refunds they have to give out.
Right. Because remember when they first did it, like they came in the very next earnings call and said that they didn't anticipate that number of returns. So yeah, that's a good point. Like maybe they were anticipating like some flood of returns like at the last second, and that would have just hit too hard. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I don't know. But on the other side of it, yeah, now they got these people real disappointed. I saw a couple people too. They're like, had I known that, I wouldn't have returned it. What the hell? Yeah.
All right, so I'm back. My signal is back. It was such a crappy signal. My husband had me outside looking at a washing machine.
That's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
So I was not planning on returning mine anyway. I had already said that. I was like, they'll have to come pry it out of my cold, dead hands before they get my Tread Plus back.
Right.
But with a whole extra year, like you said, we'll see what happens come next November. But as of right now, I still have no plans of returning it. And I think the people who are salty about returning it, you weren't holding out for a fix anyway. Because if you returned it and your tread has been long gone for months or whatever, why are you upset? Now, if you returned it last week,
right,
yeah, I would be pissed. But if you returned it at the beginning of the recall when they said you could return it, don't be mad now. Like,
right,
because you clearly had no intentions on waiting for them to come up with a solution.
Right.
You wanted to return your tread for whatever reason. You're irritated with Peloton. You didn't like it. Maybe you're broke now and you wanted your money back. Like, whatever the cause was, if you returned it a long time ago, I don't think you need to be pissed about it. Like,
I saw someone in the group who had returned theirs, but they had just initiated the process, right? But no one had come to pick it up yet. And then they saw that note and they're like, oh, snap. And then they went back to like cancel it.
yes. See, like those people, I would be irritated if I couldn't cancel it.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Because you were holding out hope. If you're just now returning it and it's like, the middle of October and you had until November, you were like fingers crossed, toes crossed, like they're going to put a fix in place. I'm waiting to return it. And then you finally were like, all right, there's no fix. I'm returning it. And then they're like, but wait, you get a whole extra year. And you just hung up with customer service, like, come pick this shit up. Yeah, I would.
You just hung up with them. You just hung up. And then that come out. I just came to the conclusion. I would be like, I'd be thinking every day, should I? And I just started realizing how painful it would be if that thing wasn't in there anymore. Like, I love that machine. And I kept going, damn. Not only would it not be in there when I go in the exercise space anymore, but I would have no way of ever getting one anymore. I was like, nah, that ain't going to work. So.
And, the regular tread is good because I've run on it at the studio. It definitely is better than any other belt treadmill that I've been on, but it pales in comparison to the Tread Plus.
Right.
Like, it really does. Like, it's a great treadmill. Like I said, so much better than any other belt treadmill. But, man, the comparison between the two, you can't even compare them.
Do people be out on, like, the secondary market selling Tread Pluses? Nah. Oh, no, I guess they wouldn't be. They could just send it back for the $4,000. Yeah, I guess there is no secondary market.
And I don't think they're allowed to, are they? When something's under, even if it's a voluntary recall, are they allowed
Oh, really?
to sell them?
Oh, yeah, they probably can.
I don't know.
I thought the same thing. Technically, I thought it was illegal to sell a recalled product. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who would gladly pay them full price to get it at this point since you can't get it. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of, so once I thought about it, I was like, well, yeah, I guess, who would do that? They would just go, okay, I'm getting all my money back and send it back to Peloton. Yeah, so back to my point. Had I sent it back, I probably had no mechanism to get one again. Yeah, that pain was just hitting me in my chest, so I just resigned to that. That ain't happening. I wasn't selling it back. Anyway, what's going on, Shelly? You there, Shelly? Oh, she probably can't. She can't hear. She's still on mute. That's all right. So, all right.
Okay, here I am.
Okay. Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, I had just the opposite, that I placed an order for the Tread Plus, and then it went, they stopped selling them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have given my eye teeth to get one.
Oh, I remember that. I remember when, there were a lot of people that had orders out right when they, recalled them. I remember that. And I remember there were a lot of people that then came out and posted the same thing you just said. They were like, I still want it. What's up? Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
I don't have, I have kids. My dogs are, they're not allowed in my room. My dogs like lay in their beds while I'm on my bike or my tread anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But, it's like, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. So I ended up getting the regular tread, but I'm totally disappointed. And I was just trying to figure out how to get my hands on a recalled one. I thought,
That's what I was thinking, but I think that'd be pretty tough. Here's what I also wonder. Is it enough just to put that thing on the back? And anybody who has a Tread Plus, you ever like kneeled down, looked from the side underneath that thing and felt that heavy ass belt under there? Like it feels like if they were trying to like do some type of, you know, change to the device, it almost makes me wonder, would they want to stop the exposure of that belt in totality from underneath? You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's ever thought about that, but I have. Like when I just kind of kneel down, look at under it from the side, you just feel that heavy, hard belt there. And like, damn. I mean, that thing was running and you stuck your hand right there. I don't know. Maybe this whole fixed thing is broader than just something in the back. That's what made me think.
One thing I was going to say is that there was it was Precor and not Peloton, but there was that patent they came out with a few months ago, which used the camera on the screen to detect if the user was still on the tread, and would stop based on that. So maybe it's a combination of the hardware of the rear guard plus, some sort of software fix like that in combination.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. That would be nice. Yeah, if you just had like something that's looking at things that are, around or near or, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting.
I mean, it stops now if you get off of it, though. Even if you put your feet on the side for like a second, it stops.
Right.
It's not like one of those treadmills at the gym where you could fake it and be like, I ran 4 miles, when in reality you've been standing on the guardrails for 10 minutes. Like,
but
Peloton is like,
I feel like they can't just be coming out, like half stepping this time. So that's why I hear you. I hear what Chris is saying. Like they probably need to come. They're probably going to go overboard. They're probably, you know what I mean? So
what are they going to do? Are they going to just jerry rig all those treads that they took back and then resell them?
I don't know. All I know is everybody I would talk to who were getting their Tread Pluses returned would always talk about how they just like manhandled those things and throwing them in the truck. They were like just throwing them in there. They were falling all crazy. And like that also made me think, dang, they ain't trying to preserve those things, right? Right.
And John?
Yep.
I just want to say how wonderful that video of your daughter on the steps was.
I appreciate it.
It's so amazing. I mean, I almost cried when I saw it. It's just amazing.
Well, I appreciate you. Yeah, that's been a little bit of a road. She's been in there a while, and she's making some huge strides. Like literally, like every day or so, it's like something she couldn't do the day before, right? Like one day that they're testing how much weight she could put on her left leg, and it was like 5 pounds. They have like a weight on the floor, and they will stand her up and see if she can press down with her left leg. It was like 5 pounds. Then a few days later, it was like 60 pounds. And then a few days later, it was like 110. Right? So she's like moving fast. So yeah, we'll see how far she can take this. But it's great stuff. I appreciate it, Shelly.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. What's going on, Janetta?
Hey, what's up, bitches? How you doing?
Doing good. Good to hear your voice.
Thank God for editing. You can cut that off.
Yeah.
Shelly's totally right. I'm so happy about seeing your daughter, kind of walking and stuff and rehab and everything is good. I really love that.
Yes, thank you.
What was it? Yeah, I miss you guys. I was able to get out of work early, so I was like, let me do my run so I can listen to these guys because otherwise I cannot talk when I'm running so fast.
Yep.
The tray. I was gonna return it. I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago. Like November is the deadline. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, what do I do? Like I love my tread.
Yep.
The only problem, what I was talking about, I was thinking like, if something goes wrong, they're gonna be able to fix it.
Yep.
that was my concern. Not getting, get the money back. Oh, that'd be nice. It's like getting your taxes back or something. I don't know. So I can take a trip with that.
Yeah.
So I was concerned about like, okay, something breaks. Are they gonna be able to fix that, or what's gonna happen?
Right.
And the safety thing. I mean, the tread now. If you're not running, that shit stop. I have to log in again.
Right.
Like I'm trying to look for a class, and if I stop on the phone, that shit goes off, and I have to log in.
Right.
So I don't know what's the problem. Why can't we just have the tread back and sell it to people? I mean, Danielle, you think that the little tread is good? I don't know. The new tread to me, it's kind of like running on a Barbie toy or something like that. That piece of shit.
Oh,
I mean,
damn.
that bell was like run. It's like what the hell? And it's like the little arms and the bars and like a tiny little thing. I cannot put my phone there to record myself. I really don't like that. So I don't know. They need to come up with something new, but they're too busy. Okay, keep going. Whatever.
He said like a Barbie toy.
I don't think it compares to the Tread Plus, but I think for a belt treadmill, is good. Like the belt is smooth. It doesn't skip and stutter. Like some belts will like skip on you or stutter.
That is some horrible
Peloton
stuff.
one doesn't.
If anybody's ran on a belt treadmill that was skip, that is terrible. I hated that. I had one that did that. That was terrible.
Yeah, and usually like the hotel ones tend to do it because they're not taken care of and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
but
horrible.
Like, listen, and when you're old, you can't have a treadmill skipping and stuttering because your knees can't take it.
No, not at all. That's why I like my tread class, because that shit is heavy duty.
Right.
I mean, I can jump and speed up in that thing really fast, and I feel safe there.
Yeah.
That's why I have kept it for so long. But now we get another year. Yay.
Yeah, I'm hyped about that.
One thing about the skipping and the jumping, I will say I went and tried out the new tread the day it came out in showrooms.
Yeah.
When I was trying it out in the showroom, it actually skipped on me while I was there trying it out 2 different times.
Oh, snap.
I heard it wasn't a common thing, but it was happening more than they wanted to. So they actually put some fixes in place.
Yeah.
And have since fixed it. And since then, I've gotten the new tread. And since I've had it at my house, it hasn't skipped on me once. So,
that's good.
I think it was an issue in the very first, revisions of it, but they've since fixed that.
That's good to hear. Yeah, for me, it's just like I love the feel. Like it's almost like it's not, I don't know if it's cushioned, but it just feels like a track feel. I just love the way the running on the slats feels, and so I just can't go back to that belt now. They hooked me. That's it. I can't go back. So I'll keep in mind.
And I saw was it Soul that I sent you guys someone's review of their
yeah, that's right,
their slatted belt treadmill.
Yeah.
It was not a good review at all.
Right.
They had previously had the Tread Plus, and I guess they returned it and got this. I guess it was Soul, right? Was it Soul?
I think it was. That surprised me though. I mean, because which I can't remember what exactly was that the model, but I had been hearing all these rave reviews of people saying, yeah, just return your Tread Plus and get this thing, like as if like it's the comparable thing from a different maker. So when I saw that review, I was like, what? It's like that? They
really tore it apart. They said the speed increase wasn't good, the incline increase wasn't good. I guess it felt small in comparison to the Tread Plus. It didn't feel as sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just really like ripped it apart. So if anyone is considering swapping out for the Soul, make sure you check lots of reviews because this person really went to town. I was like, wow. I was like, let me send this to John. This is.
I mean,
they gave him a beating.
They went good. They went in. Dang. It wasn't as bad as how they went in on the Minx bike. Did you see that today? I was looking at the people under the Minx Instagram account, and they were talking about that. Is it Minx or Mix? I don't know what it is. The company that Beachbody bought, and they had that bike.
Yeah.
People up on Instagram going in on that bike.
They were wild.
They wilding out on that bike. Dang.
Oh my gosh.
They got people
like
out there
they
just
were,
out there like with popcorn just so that they can like listen to people going in on the bike. It's crazy.
It was like, just get the Peloton. Like,
That's a hot mess right there. Dang. They got it
like
going
y'all
on.
ain't start turning off comments and deleting them yet. I
You know
mean,
what I'm
that seems to
saying?
be a common theme for
Y'all need
people who
to,
don't like what other people have to say. You might as well delete a comment
you know
or
what I mean? You know what I'm
turn off
saying?
comments.
They need to turn off comments on that joint. But all right, let's see. What we got next? I keep hearing everybody talking about the live schedule. I don't take much live anymore. That used to be my jam. I used to take only live. Now I barely ever take live. Now it's always going to be on demand now. So I wouldn't know. But I keep like here and there, I'll hear somebody talk about live schedule. This is some crap right here. This is some shit over here. And they don't have as many of this over here. They don't have many as that. But I don't know how to contribute to that conversation because I have no idea. Has the live schedule really changed that much? What's up? I haven't
So
noticed.
I don't think it's changed a lot. What I think has happened though is that people used to have like their set times and now they're rotating them. So I can never remember when Jess is teaching live right now because I feel like it changes every other week.
Oh, the rotation of when particular instructors actually have classes. It's not as set in stone anymore. That's what the difference is?
Right.
One of the reasons too is because like Jen Sherman does the Sundays, but because of the open studio, she does them every other week instead of every week. That's one of the reasons why the schedule has changed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just the weekend too; it's the week that rotates as well. So,
Okay. So
I personally can't keep up with it, and it's quite annoying. I don't mind the time change. Like I know they got rid of the 6 a.m., which was fine for me. I know lots of people are really, really upset about not having a 6 a.m. class anymore. I just don't like that it's not consistent. Like I want to know that I'm gonna have, Allie every Tuesday at 7.
Gotcha.
And I don't necessarily get Allie every Tuesday at 7 a.m.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a different issue with the consistency as well that I think is causing part of the issue, not necessarily the certain coaches. They made their post in August when they did all this about their new consistent times. It was going to be at 10, 12, 2, and 7, Monday through Thursday. There is always going to be a bike, a bike and a
I
tread.
remember that. Right.
If you looked at the schedule yesterday, I think 4 of those different times, there were not one or the other. So, they came out with a big always this, and then they're not even necessarily following that. So I think that's some, outside the whole, I'm used to doing this coach at this time. That's not the same. It's just they're saying you're going to have something you can do at this time, and they're not even doing that all the time.
Ouch. So wait a minute. I get what your concern about it. Your issue with it, Danielle. That makes perfect sense to me because that's how I used to be when I was doing more live. Is that I always knew, I'm going to take this Alex class at this time, right? Or I'm going to take this Robin class at this time. So if that's not like that anymore, I get the angst there. I'd be like, yeah, that if I was still doing live, that would bug me. But yeah, if you add to it this whole new scenario that they have these set time frames that it may not be the same instructor, but it'll be a same discipline, and that's not even being followed. Yeah, I got you, Chris. That's some added an added issue relative to consistency, I guess, would cause the noise that I've been hearing. I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, and the one thing to add to that is they didn't even necessarily say it would always be live at those times. It would be a live or an encore, but a lot of times even an encore is missing, which, seems like a easy fix there for that.
Right. That's wild. Okay. Hey, Courtney, how's it going?
I'm good. I just wanted to add that I think they're just struggling with trying to balance and harmonize it all.
Yeah.
They promised a set schedule. They adjusted the bike boot camps. They have the shadow boxing, live on Wednesdays. They've opened a studio every weekend, and instructors are rotating every other week. And then the instructors are also being pulled to do this. So I just think there's just so many competing priorities that what's happening and what's suffering is their consistency to do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah, I hear you there. I also wonder, well, this may not play at all, but do you guys see, is there any, are there less, well, I guess they can do on demand. I was going to say, are there less classes by instructor? Like if someone's favorite instructor, I'm making it up. If someone's favorite instructor was Hannah Marie Corbin, is Hannah all of a sudden just not having as many live classes? Or has that adjusted as well, or no?
Well, Jess definitely doesn't have as many live classes as she did, but that's because she's doing like the game day stuff. So that's her other obligations.
Right.
I don't think that's necessarily like a Peloton thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Allie still has a ton of live classes. I feel like Alex has less, but I don't ride with him a ton.
Yep.
But he could be doing something else too. So
right.
In terms of how many live classes the instructors have, that's kind of like, you don't know if that's Peloton or if that's because they have other stuff going on.
Right.
Well, Alex is doing all the tread classes now, so that's where he is, you know.
Over there doing tread, getting ready for that, right? But the reason I was
I think they.
Go ahead.
And then also, we don't. I was going to say, and we don't know. We only know the new row instructors.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the existing instructors. So I think I'm just giving Peloton grace that they.
We know the instructors. They announced them. They said Matt and Adrian, right? Didn't they announce that?
Yep, they did.
Yeah, they announced that, but we don't. What I'm saying is, we don't know. There might be other things in the wings, as always, because they don't necessarily tell us. So there might be other things that those instructors are being pulled to do.
Gotcha.
Is all I'm saying. Like, they might be available less, but that doesn't mean that they're not also making content that either will be pushed out later or is coming down the pipe that we just don't know.
That makes sense. The reason I asked...
I mean, they're recording a ton of Coach to Camera.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Jess is always recording Coach to Camera.
Always.
Like, always.
Right.
I would like her to take a vacation. Yes. Her and Allie both. I need them to stop.
Because you be trying to keep up with this catalog. That's why you want them to stop.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I tell Allie all the time, and they keep Allie laughs at me, and Jess told me that I will never finish her catalog. That's what she told me. Those are her literal words to me. She said, "You will never finish."
You shouldn't have never
like,
told
why
them
are you like this?
that you was trying to finish the catalog. Because now they doing classes and laughing. You know what I mean?
Just on purpose.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I just think people need to zoom out and understand that I feel the company is just doing a lot.
Right.
And you may see them less on the live schedule, but to Danielle's point, I mean, I wake up and it's like, 2 new classes by Jess. Allie just released this. And I'm like, dang, I thought I was all caught up. So I think they are releasing content. It just may not be in the live schedule like people want, but I think we have to get adjusted to all the other formats that have been added in the past year and what's coming down the pike with the rower. So I don't know. I just think everyone needs to just calm down about the schedule.
Do you know?
Also,
go ahead.
I was going to say, it's also someone pointed out the cost difference between doing Coach to Camera and doing a live class.
Right.
That there's a significant amount of people that are required to do a live class than there are for doing Coach to Camera.
Right.
So if they're looking for ways to streamline costs and to save some money, having them doing more Coach to Camera versus doing more live classes is one way they could be doing it.
Danielle, what is the additional number of people? Is that additional cost there? I'm not live with members, but just on a random Tuesday. What's the additional cost there?
You just said that there's extra people versus when it's just Coach to Camera. I guess it's just more people. There's way more production people into live class.
Okay. Interesting. I hadn't heard that before, so that's good to know. Thank you.
So you guys, I don't know if you guys know where I was. You probably know where I was going with that. I was going the same place you said, Danielle, and Sarah in the chat. Sarah Bendixson said, is it a cost thing, right? And that's where I was going. Specifically considering we know Peloton has been trying to figure out how to cut costs, right? They've been managing to kind of getting that down, and now they're saying, okay, we think we're at a good place, and we're going to start focusing on growth. But knowing that had been their focus, it had me wondering the same thing. Also, not only because of that, but also because we just heard SoulCycle they cutting instructor pay now, right? They already said they announced like a few days ago that they were paying like some of their top instructors like $300 for the class, and then like a specific fee on top of that based on however many numbers go in the class. But now they've cut it down to it's $100 a class, and so they're like using instructor pay as a means to cut costs, which made me think the same thing with Peloton. Is that what we're seeing? Like, are we seeing a lot of on demand and a lot of like coach to camera because of that?
Well, one quick note to that, like comparing the SoulCycle, look what Tonal did as well. They got rid of 85% of their existing coaches.
Yep.
So that's another extreme right there.
Right. It's like, is this just what's happening in the space now? You know what I mean? Exactly. What's going on, Courtney? My bad, Courtney. I kept getting those invite someone to speak, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized, dang, she didn't raise her hand. I invited her. My Courtney.
No. Thanks for inviting me up and welcoming me up. Hey, everybody. The thing that's frustrating to me is it feels like there are less live classes, less 45-minute classes, lots of changes, not a consistent schedule, all of those things. And I don't want to take the conversation in a different direction, but also frustrating to me is it seems like they're watering down the sort of exclusiveness or eliteness of the brand, which is frustrating. And so I feel like putting the bike on Amazon, making it the $995 refurbished bike, which I think is an interesting idea. But, I couldn't believe it when they announced that they might do that, or when I saw an announcement. I don't know that Peloton actually announced that yet. But the thing that is mind-blowing to me is it's like I feel like they're cutting the things that make me love Peloton so much. I mean, obviously, I love the community a lot, obviously. And, I have, we've built a community. So many of us have built a community together, particularly BGM, but sort of not having the access to the live classes, not having the access to the instructors, and getting the energy from the people in the room when it is just straight to coach, straight to coach to camera, feels like they're just making sort of consistent efforts to trim the things that make Peloton more special than any other connected fitness device. And I hate that. I really hate it.
You articulated that better than I ever did. Like I was thinking in the past. I've thought, okay, yeah, they're making some of these changes and their cost cutting measures, and maybe it's all good. I'm not sure I like it at all, but I don't know if I can complain about it. But I hear what you're saying now, like from a live perspective and the things that kind of brought us together from a community perspective in the past. Yeah, I don't know if I like that either. Like, I hear you.
I don't love it. And obviously I'm committed to this brand. I have the bike, I have the Tread Plus, I bought the rower. I haven't bought the guide just because I can't. I just don't see it yet. But maybe I will convince myself that it is a worthwhile investment. But I have all the clothes. I buy everything.
Right.
And so I'm just so frustrated to watch a brand that, really one of the few brands that I am particularly loyal to.
Right.
Undermine itself with someone who's so loyal.
I hear you.
Courtney, you need the guide for the record. Just saying.
I was going to ask you,
Danielle.
Danielle. I knew she was going to come with that.
Courtney, have I ever steered you wrong, though? I mean, listen, yes, you love Tabata. I have never steered you.
You steer me wrong every week. What are you talking about?
You love Saturday 60 because of me. You love Tabata because of me.
Let it go. You steer me wrong on a daily basis. Now, your wrong happens to be right 8 out of 10 times. But no, you steer me wrong often, love. You do.
But either way, shout out to Courtney. In case y'all didn't know, she's moderator and lead and founder of the BGM group, and Danielle is administrator there as well. And they do amazing things there. They doing stuff there. So big shout out to what you guys are doing. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
John?
I'm just mostly harassing people, but. Courtney does the good work. I harass people.
Go ahead, Shelley.
When you think about saving money, it's like there was no live classes on Monday. So is that because they don't have any of the camera people or the people who do live come in? That would save Peloton a bunch of money. And it seems like there are 1 or 2 days a week where there are no live classes. And I'm wondering if that's the strategy. Could be.
I could speak to exactly what Danielle said, right? Like there's probably less of a cost because you don't need as many people in there doing a production if you're doing a live class versus a coach to camera. So
Right, but I'm just saying, but if
so
you
I
see
hear
on
you.
Monday, it's all recorded. So, those people don't work. And if they work, if they do extra classes that they record in between live classes, there's paying X amount of people on those days to do more, but
Right.
probably within the same price.
Right.
Which,
Absolutely.
if that's how they save money to keep Peloton, okay, I could take a recorded class on Monday,
Right, or less people. I'm not even sure it's the same amount of
Yeah,
people. I think it might even be less if you're doing coach to camera
yeah.
versus a live. So yeah, I hear you. That could be it. But Danielle, I was gonna come to you as soon as Courtney mentioned that guy. I was about to come to you on that. I was like,
I'm gonna talk her into it.
I
I'm gonna talk her into it. I'm gonna harass her
I
until
was
she does
like
it. I mean,
this.
she needs it for the rep counting.
This
She
might.
needs to do the just rep counting with the snatches. She'll be
Oh
so
snap!
happy she did it.
I was like, this might be a good time for the update on the guy. Like, what's going on with? And Tammy came right on time too. Like, this might be the perfect time to figure out what's going on with it.
I'm just gonna point out I can count on my own. I don't need a machine to count for me. Okay, I got it.
It's not the same, and you can't get access to those classes without the guide. It's exclusive content to the guide. Even Chris hasn't broken the code yet. So
Give it time.
If Chris ain't found it yet, Chris gonna find it.
they're sick of Chris. They locked that ish down. They were like, you know what? We are so sick of him.
To be fair, there was
links.
no breaking it into before this super duper security was. Nobody will think to click in from a profile of someone who took it. That was the security before.
And you know what's funny though? Because my husband is in IT, and that's what he said. He was like, there was nothing really stopping anyone from getting the content before. They didn't really have it locked down. He's like, so I think that they didn't lock it down on purpose. That was his.
Correct.
That was his thought process. Is that they didn't lock it down on purpose.
Did they
and
not
now they're locking it down on purpose?
Did they not lock it down on purpose? Or
I think it might have been. I think they didn't have the capability to yet, but now that they're talking about locking down the rogue content and they have more of these programs, I think they invested the time to figure out how to, do a better job of actually locking it down. That's what I thought.
That's what I think. I agree with that.
And see, I wasn't sure. Like, I knew what Paul was saying when he was saying, they could have locked it down. They just chose not to. They, wanted to make it seem exclusive, but it really wasn't. And I'm like, are they that smart though to intentionally leave it unlocked, but claim it's like exclusive to the guide and let people steal links to it? So
that might be too diabolical for them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if they think that well.
That might be too diabolical for them. You might be right. All right, let's see. Let me move on to this next topic. Tammy got here, and we only went through like 2 topics.
Wait, John, can I make a quick announcement? I have a new sound effect.
Oh, you do?
So this is a new sound effect. I'm so excited because I just got home and I just opened my mail, and Jess Minardi's not here and Steph isn't here, but everyone just hold your ears because this is loud and obnoxious.
Oh,
ready?
Snap. Okay.
That's my cowbell for the New York City Marathon. So watch out, Janetta.
Tammy.
We're coming for you. I got my cowbell. I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
And I told you I'm not standing anywhere near you.
You are going to stand next to me and you are going to enjoy it. I should have bought 3, but I knew you were going to be a party pooper. I have 2 cowbells. I've never been more excited.
Oh man, I gotta wait a minute.
New York City Marathon. Janera will hear us before she sees us.
What's the date? What's the date again?
Oh God,
November
75th time, John.
No,
Get a calendar. 6th.
November 6th. I gotta be there. I'm gonna make sure I'm there. I'm gonna be there.
You better be there.
I can't miss this.
I'll order a cowbell for you too. Amazon Prime. They'll be here tomorrow.
I gotta get
no more cowbells.
I gotta get cowbells.
There can never be too many cowbells. It's 26.2 miles.
I gotta write up embarrassing signs and I gotta do something crazy.
All you need is a cowbell.
All I need is a cowbell for when Janetta runs by? Okay, we're going to do
I
that.
would just point out that I can scream so loudly that the decibel warning on my watch goes off when we're at football games. So I don't need a cowbell because I have a great set of lungs.
How many miles until Danielle does not want to stand next to me? Let's just put an over under.
See, this sounds like fun already.
1 half the 0.2.
I think Janetta's gonna run past us and act like she doesn't know us. We'll have to get louder.
She's gonna be so fast she's not even gonna see us.
Yeah, she's not even gonna see us.
It's gonna be a big blur.
It's gonna be a
No,
blur.
no. I think I'm gonna have to not wear my earpods because I want to be able to hear and see everybody.
Yes.
Take pictures, take videos, take whatever. We're running this shit again, so let's do it.
No doubt. Yeah, we're gonna have
Absolutely.
to do this.
You want to take the crowd in. All right.
And
Thank
when
you
I
for.
shove Tammy in front of you with her cowbell, just be careful. Just step over her.
It's me and Steph against you. You're outnumbered. You're a party pooper.
Listen, I'm strong. I will shove you both.
With the cowbell right into the race. All right.
Well, if anyone would like to come cheer with us, there's plenty of cowbell to go around.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be there. Got to be there. Now that there's gonna be a cowbell, I'm in. That's it.
I'll get the cowbell with your name on it.
All right, let's see what we got next. Oh, what's going on, Liz? How are you? You there, Liz? All right, we'll keep going.
I just know Chris is in the chat talking about he hasn't spilled any tea in days. So I'm like, what tea are you sitting on, Chris?
You know, Chris always got some tea.
Chris
got tea all the time.
You might as well spill it now before it gets too cold.
No, that wasn't a hint like that. That was a reply to someone up earlier in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Yeah, I was saying, or they were saying Chris Peloton needs to hire Chris. And I was like, no. We were saying Chris needs to stay on the outside so he can serve people the tea.
That's what I'm saying.
He got to serve us the tea because otherwise we wouldn't know.
They start paying Chris to not give us the tea. That wouldn't work. Nah, you're right. I'm with that.
Look, Chris's tea is usually so hot. I was harassing him when he was on vacation a couple weeks ago. I was like, is this true? I didn't see it from you, so I don't believe it. He was like, well, I'm out of the country.
That's funny.
I was like, okay, I don't care. Is it true? What do you mean you're on vacation?
I'm saying.
Answer me, Chris.
What is vacation anyway? Come on.
Oh.
Vacations are overrated.
Exactly. What's going on, Liz?
Oh, I figured out how to unmute myself.
You did
sorry.
it. Yes. No worries. Thank you so much.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for all you do. But I want to go back to this cowbell thing.
Oh, right.
I live in Colorado, so I'm a little far from New York. But I'm visiting my daughter in Maryland.
Yeah?
I want to join in on this cowbell.
That's what I'm talking about.
We just need to make a big old fanfare page and just all join and just get out there and wave our flags and cowbells.
I'll throw some information on John's page on the Run, Lift, and we don't actually have a plan yet, but we just know we're going to be there. But once we kind of, I think, figure out where we're meeting, a few of us are taking a Peloton class in the morning. So I don't know if we're going to go from the studio or what, but as soon as we have a plan, we'll definitely share it, and all are welcome.
Well, awesome. I will look forward to it. Thank you.
Not all are welcome. You're welcome if you don't have a cowbell.
Shut up, Danielle. Such a party pooper.
Everyone without a cowbell is welcome.
Cows, guys.
Oh, see, then you're in, Liz. Then you're in.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
Cool.
I should go steal a cowbell from my neighbors, huh? Run past the dairy farm and steal an actual cowbell.
Exactly. Yeah. This is going to be fun. I can't wait.
Just take the cow. Just bring the cow.
Listen,
I don't know.
cows are dangerous.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Oh, I didn't even know that. See, that tells you how I guess I didn't grow up in the country, so it tells you.
They can be very protective.
Yeah? Oh, I didn't even know. All right, so let's see. What do we got next? I was going to talk about this earnings call, but that's no fun, so I'm about to skip over that. I want to know about the Peloton Rower. I want an update on the Rower. Has anybody? Is everybody still excited? Has anybody ordered that wasn't originally planning to? Like, what? Has there been any news that's dropped about the Rower that I've been? The only thing I've seen is something on like Instagram where they had some of the rowing instructors like gabbing on a couch or something and talking about things that they like to do and playing games. Other than that, anything new about the Rower that I missed?
We'll just direct that question to Chris.
The rowing instructors have been at store events.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Matt Wilpers is going to be somewhere. I think it's this weekend.
I saw
I think
that.
he's going to be in Tyson's Corner.
Corners.
Oh, that's
Yeah, and
I saw
Ashley
that.
was somewhere just the other day.
And
So
Ash is
they've
going to be
actually
with
been
Matt.
at stuff.
And Tyson's
And she was
Corner.
someplace else earlier in the week, right?
Yeah, they were in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Did you say is Ash going to be with Matt at Tyson's Corner?
I think Katie's going to be with Matt at Tyson's Corner. And
Oh, okay.
I think it was Ash and Alex maybe in New Jersey.
Ah, gotcha.
And then all three are going to be at the regatta
Special
thing that you
event
posted
thing.
about
Oh, okay.
in Boston.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's cool. I mean,
And for the record, I have still not ordered the rower.
you haven't ordered it yet?
Just so we're.
See,
I have not ordered the rower.
Black Friday, right?
Yeah, when that price drops.
That's
when
what
Peloton gets their head together.
See, now what's
When
going to
it goes on
happen?
Amazon.
I know. What's going to happen now, Danielle, when all of a sudden people start getting rowers shipped and all these classes start happening? Like, what then?
I don't want to talk about it.
I know if they drop the
No.
price substantially, I'm sending it back.
Okay.
And ordering it again.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They've already started putting it in the classes count. So if you look at your profile and you look under your workouts, you can see, like, it'll say row and it'll say row boot camp. And mine says 0 on there right now. So I'm already like, why are they teasing me?
See?
Like,
Mine doesn't show that.
Peloton.
Where do you see that? Is that through the app or the web or where?
Through the app.
Okay.
So if I'm on the app and I go to like my profile and I go to the overview, and you know how it tells you like how many like cycling and classes you've taken, all that kind of stuff. So that whole thing where it says you've got so many workouts and there's a cycling meditation, blah, blah, blah. So down in the last row, I have 0 for row, boot camp, and rowing.
This is
so
another
like,
one
why
of
are y'all
things.
teasing me?
This is another one where, it just shows one thing on iPhone and everywhere else doesn't show it. This is another one of those where it's only on iPhone.
I got you. We'll see, Danielle. See, that's gonna stay 0 because didn't they say
it's gonna stay? Ain't that some shit?
Didn't they say that they ain't even gonna put this out on the app when it drops?
Right. That's what I said. So y'all just gonna throw it in my face. Like, it's not gonna be in the app. I can't use it, but you're just gonna sit there with those 2 fat zeros, reminding me that I don't have a Peloton rower and I can't take it.
You're gonna have to go to a showroom.
On the other side, no showroom around me has it. They don't have it in King of Prussia.
Dang.
The only way the closest one for me is to go to New York, because the New York showroom is closer to me than the New Jersey showroom, which is shocking. But New York is like 90 minutes away.
I thought they said by the end of the year they hope to have it in all showrooms. I mean, that who knows which ones will be closed by then, but that's a different point.
Whatever happened to people going to the showrooms to take classes? Do people still do that? People don't do that anymore, right? That all shut down.
They do now. They've been going back.
They've been going back?
People, they just started. I think they just started doing it again.
Because remember, people
like, they just
taking
started
their
making it happen.
milestones.
BGM had an event at a showroom.
Okay.
So it was really cool because they were in there. They took rowing classes. They did all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so it's coming back.
In
in
the Charlotte.
They had snacks?
In the Charlotte store.
Yeah, they had snacks. It was sponsored drinks. I was like, this is an event. This is a night out. Let's go.
See, y'all know how BGM do. Don't be playing with them.
Listen, we like to turn up.
You know what I mean? They do it for real. Don't be tripping. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oh, well, that's good then. I didn't know that. That's perfect. Yeah, it seems like they should now start getting back to because we remember prior to pandemic, that was a big thing. Like, people just kind of planned their schedules around going to a showroom to do a ride and seeing people in person, even if they weren't in New York. It was just wherever their showroom was. So,
Danielle, one note for you about the showroom, though, at least as of 2 weeks ago when it first came out, you could not actually log in with your own profile. There was something happening and only the showroom profiles could log in. So even if you went and took a class, you wouldn't be able to get that 1 on your profile.
I would still have a damn 0. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly.
Well, I will say the only good thing about it is that now I can scope and see who's a tester. Because testers' numbers aren't going to be zeros. They're going to have numbers under there. Oh, that's
a good point.
There's also there's a leaderboard of people who have taken the classes when you're in the showroom. And if you can't log in at a showroom, what does that mean for the people who are on the leaderboard?
Yeah, another good point.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
That might not be the case. someone I know may or may not have been a product tester once, and every workout that that person may have or may not have done showed up as a bike workout
Oh, so
instead of
they
on the
they
guide.
could be throwing people.
Just the FYI.
They could be getting real savvy
Well,
on
I've
us.
I've seen people with numbers who don't have zeros under their rower and their in the row bike in the row boot camp. So, and it's under their accounts.
Well, and a couple of the instructors have them. So if you look at the instructor's profile, that might be an indicator too.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
because
might not
Allie
have been
keeps
the
showing
case.
hers, and I'm like, Allie, why you just keep throwing it in my face that you have your rower? And as usual,
And I
Allie
think
just laughed at me.
Robin posted that she has one too, I think.
Yep, she did. And I think somebody else did too. But definitely Allie and Robin.
Well, I don't know if I'm getting one of them joints, but I'm anticipating when you're gonna get one though, Danielle.
You're planning on when I'm getting my rower?
Yeah. That's my next prediction. I'll make a prediction when
Is when I get my rower?
Yeah, it's when your rower gets delivered. I'm gonna predict the date down to the time. That's gonna be my next.
Let me know, because as of right now, that joint has not been ordered, and my husband walks away from me every time I bring it up.
When you get it, can I use my cowbell then?
No, you may not.
I mean, how much is that rower? Was like $3,200 or something? I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that's a little.
And in Pennsylvania, after taxes, it came to like almost $4,000. By the time you added in the extra warranty and the taxes, it was like $3,700 or $3,800, and that was for the basic.
I mean,
that
that's
was
the less
literally just the rower.
It's under the refund cost of the Tread Plus, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I didn't think about that.
You know.
So basically, you just want me to have what, like $12,000 worth of Peloton equipment in my house, just chilling.
I have $12,000 worth of Peloton equipment in my house, chilling. I will at least in December.
All right.
But you're missing a guide, Courtney. So let's add to your number.
Well, Danielle, I'm accepting all sorts of holiday gifts.
I love you, but not that much.
I was like, did I hear silence? I didn't know. There may be a wonderful Black Friday sale on Amazon. So
it was on sale for the Prime days. The guide was.
I am so offended that they're selling Peloton products on Amazon. I don't know why I'm so offended by it, but I am offended by it.
By the fact that they're even there?
Yeah, and that they're going to be in Dick's. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense from a business perspective, but I'm really offended by it.
Did they already put them in Dick's? Has anybody seen them in Dick's yet? When does that start? Like next year or something?
Seen it yet.
I don't remember when it starts. I remember I had the date before.
I haven't seen them. I haven't been in the store, but I mean, like I said, I think it's a good move anyway. But you know how many impulse buys there are from Dick's?
Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to help them or not. I mean, it sounds like it probably will. I am anticipating that as well. I'm like, I can't wait to like go into a Dick's and see those things sitting there and see if they treat that equipment the same way they treat other equipment that sits on the floor. And I also am really interested to see if it looks like a store within a store or if it's just another piece of equipment on the floor, right? You know, you've seen, you know what I mean? Those stores where they just have like, you know, another store's kind of a subsection in the store. Like, I'm wondering, is that what the Peloton thing is going to be like? So you'll have like a Peloton employee in this section for these products?
I really hope so. I really do hope so, actually. That would make me feel less offended by it.
I hope so too, just because I feel like the Dick's employees don't know anything. So, yeah. I mean, I said this when we talked about it before. I feel like frequently when I ask them something, they're like, well, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, that's not the case for lacrosse or for wrestling or whatever. And they just have no idea what I'm talking about. So I hope that they have like actual Peloton people there who know the equipment.
Well, you guys brought up Amazon, and I think that's a perfect transition. Like I had that on the agenda to talk about Amazon Prime Day, but I had originally intended to kind of talk about the fact that Amazon came out and said that Peloton was one of their top sellers during Prime Day. I didn't know I don't know if it was based on a particular category or just in general. I have to go back and look at that. But they had them as one of the top sellers. And I found that interesting. I was like, does that mean there's like some effect to that? And then we'll see that from a subscriber count perspective, right? Or, maybe there's some benefit there. I don't know. But then today I went out to Amazon, right? And I did a quick search of just the word Peloton. And the first thing that came up, as was in the past, was the Echelon store, and then was a Schwinn bike, and then another Echelon bike, and I had to scroll a little way, and then I got to Peloton bikes. Like what is up with that?
But were those sponsored though?
Is that what that is? It's like the sponsorship for particular search.
I think people are paying against the keyword Peloton to get their products there.
Unbelievable. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, I wondered what that was. That's crazy. But so you're searching for a Peloton, but you might be looking at a few other competitor products before you even get to the Peloton in the Amazon list. But anyways, was anybody, it sounds like Courtney's like, nah, I wasn't really all excited about that. But I'm wondering, like, was anybody excited and out there buying stuff on Prime Day Peloton-based products? No? I know generally, at least in my household, people are like, we're like, yeah, what's out there? What's big? But I wasn't out there looking at Peloton products, but I don't know if anyone here was.
I did get some of the Peloton Alto shoes on Try Before You Buy.
Oh, yeah. I love the way those things look. I wonder, like...
They're pretty sweet.
They're sweet, right? They're nice. You got them? How are they?
Yeah, they were just delivered today. They look pretty good.
Pretty slick, huh?
I've tried them on, but I didn't cycle with them.
I love the way those things
they're
look.
much better than the old ones.
Yeah.
And I like them better than the Nike ones that I bought last year. But I haven't rode with them yet. But yeah.
That's what I
was on there and I bought them.
should have looked at. That is definitely what I should have looked at. I didn't look at that. I need new shoes. Well, that's cool.
I was looking, and I regret, honestly, that I did not get the weights. I needed some 20-pound weights, and I regret that I did not get it. So I actually will be watching like Amazon Holiday to see if maybe I can get the Peloton weights on Amazon.
I
did buy the weights.
Peloton weights. I love the weights.
I like the look I like the look of them, and I like that they're squared. You know what I mean? I got a lot of hex-based weights, and this, it seems like more stability with doing things with the weights.
Yeah.
When you're needing to support yourself, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're doing rows and then push-ups, like those square weights are just key. And I don't know, it just goes with the whole look, and they're just really sleek. So that's a missed purchase for me. So I hope they bring it back.
Don't regret it. Don't regret it too much. I ordered to complete my set, the 25s and the 30s. I couldn't get them in the house. I was like, oh God, this box is really heavy.
Well, and that's the other thing is that Amazon would just, that's true. But I don't know. I'll be watching, honestly, John, for Christmas. I was pretty salty. I was on Amazon, and then I was like, well, it's probably a smart business move if they're trying to move inventory, and bring cash flow in. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to be watching if it goes on sale for the holidays to see if I can buy the weights.
Yeah.
I do wish they would make a weight rack, though, because I bought one.
True.
I did buy a weight rack, but no weight rack I bought yet fits the weights as well as I think it could.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Now I can't remember. You remember we'd go in studio and they have racks there for those weights. I wonder if those are just like universal racks or if they are racks they had made for their weights. Now I can't remember what they looked like.
Well, if not, then maybe it's a business plan for someone else, like to make a rack for Peloton weights, because I probably would buy that. So that way, because I agree with you, like other Courtney, like they just don't sit right. I have like one of those triangular ones where they like stack on one side and go down the other. They just don't fit as well as they should.
Yeah, I have that too, actually.
That makes sense.
I have mine on an IKEA cube shelf.
Yeah.
They fit pretty well there.
Works out. Works well, right? I'm kind of messy with my stuff. So yeah, I have a rack in one of my in my garage. I work out most of the time. I have a rack there, but then Erica didn't like going out in the garage to go get those hex weights to come into the the exercise space in the house to then work out. So she started buying the Peloton weights. So like we have like duplicates of like every weight. I got 30s in the garage that are hex, and you got 30s in the house that are square Peloton weights. But yeah, every time I walk past that room, I see her weights. They look so neat, and mine look so messed up. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's pretty cool. All right, I'll move on to the next topic. I'm wondering about this one. I don't know if you guys heard about this, or if anyone here is like big Robin Arzon fans. And I just found this out just recently that Robin's got this new Robin Arzon Swagger Society. I don't know what that is about. I see she's got a website. I see she's trying to hire people to like manage to like social media type content. I don't know if it's like a mechanism to begin like a subscription based thing where she like supports people, or I don't know what it is. Does anybody have any insight on what that is? No? That's cool. I'll do some more research on it. But I saw it. I know that the instructors dive into like new endeavors, and they're constantly getting into new things. And like Allie's got her own business, and a lot of them are sponsored by people. But on the side, they're like creating their own, their own brand, their own entities, and that seemed like something that was broader than what I had seen before.
Yeah, she mentioned it in her article. Oh my gosh, I just drew a blank on the article she was featured on. Women's Health. Thank you. I was like, oh, it's gonna come to me, and I read it, and I was like, it's like a community, like I don't know, like meta space that she's catering around wellness. So I signed up for it just to learn more about it.
Yeah.
But it was in the article, and I think a lot of people, like me, read the article and was like, like, what's that? And I guess we're asking her about it. So then she kind of, pushed something out about it. But from what I can understand, it's, some type of like web-based next level kind of community for like all things health and wellness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the feel I got from it. Yeah.
I saw it, but I didn't look too much into it, but I was getting the impression this was going to turn into a paid community around Robin type thing.
That's what I thought as well. Like there was going to be some subscription-based thing.
Yeah, like a Patreon. Is it Patreon?
Yes, it seems like that's going to be her crypto NFT Web3 version of that.
That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, this is going to be a subscription base for exclusive content. But instead of being on like a Patreon kind of platform, it would be on this kind of, metaverse type of situation.
I'm interested in how is there something new about either her messaging or the content she already kind of delivers in her social platforms? Is there something
I'm not sure.
new here? Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's anything new, but I'm going to follow Robin into whatever kingdom she's building because I need those abs.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely interested.
Well, let me say this within reason. Like it had, I don't know like what it would cost or what it would be or like what content you're getting, but I'm curious enough to kind of like just, be curious about it as long as it's like, within reason. Like I can't pay rower type of prices for, this new virtual kingdom.
One thing about Robin, I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I'm not as curious as you, Courtney, so please report back once you figure that out.
Oh, is this my assignment?
Oh, snap.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, snap. You're a reporter on the street now. You got it.
All right, Chris. All right, I'm there.
Robin has always impressed me with her ability to kind of really articulate her vision and be very clear about where she sees benefit and really able to deliver a message about like what she's trying to get you to do and how. Like I've always been really impressed with her along those lines. Like I saw her like talking to Ashton Kutcher. Is that who it was in the what's that series? I always forget the name of the series. Our future selves. And he's talking about his race prep, and she's delivering like mechanisms for how he should think and what he should or shouldn't do. Like I saw one where he was talking about getting new shoes, and she's like, nothing new. And this is why. And like she's very clear. It's like very clear. Like those type of things about Robin have always kind of impressed me. So yeah, when she's talking about some new thing.
Well, and I'm not sure, but I don't know how many of you watched her master class. I watched it as well. So I imagine it's probably, even more an extension of that. And I think that what I see her doing is building this, NFT Web3 type of community universe. And then she may start to decrease less on some of these other, social media platforms in order to gear, or steer folks to that. So I'd be happy to report back because I'm just like super curious about NFTs and the Web3 space. And then also having taken her masterclass, I think I am interested in what she would, have more to say than what we already see on like the Peloton platform.
Oh yeah, please report back. Yeah.
And, and abs, just,
and abs. Don't forget the abs
yep.
now. Don't forget the abs now.
Well, if a meta world is giving you abs, then I think everyone would be buying into meta world.
I'm in.
So sorry, Courtney, you're not getting abs.
No, I know I'm not getting abs, but I'm just saying, like, she's doing something. Girlfriend, the queen is doing something. Okay. So let me just take notes.
How you gonna just pop my bubble, Danielle? I was all hyped on getting some abs and all.
Maybe I can
just tripping.
Well, it's in the Web3 metaverse, so actually I can't have whatever I want. I can have abs there.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
You just can't have them in real life.
Yep, that's fine, because I eat cookies, so I won't have them in real life, but in the metaverse, I will.
I mean, you can have them in real life, but you have to give up everything fun.
Yeah,
give up all fun things.
Yeah, and I'm just not. I love to work out, and I just had a tres leches cake after dinner. So
okay, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, Jess hit me up about that chips and the soda comment last week. She hit me up about that one, but she didn't jump on me though. Danielle. She was good. She was just laughing. She didn't jump on me. See, she learned. She don't get on me anymore. She just laughs.
Goodness.
See, she used to be like, John, really? Now she don't do that. She just laughs. See, it's good. So
She's giving up. Yeah. That's what it is.
So now I don't even now I don't even have to use my ghost account. I think I'm just gonna be on the classes as myself with my numbers now moving now. You see what it worked. It all worked out. It all worked out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right. Then what do we got next? Oh, the Peloton sponsoring the head of the Charles Regatta rowing race. I don't know. I didn't. Where is that? What is that? Like, first of all, I posted it, and then there were some people that came at me and they were like, "Yeah, Hydro's been doing that for like however many years. Like, it's about time for Peloton to catch up." Like they sounded like haters. I thought that's pretty cool. You're at a race. You have a little booth. You sponsored the race, and now you're showing people that are in the race a new home rower that has some innovation to it. I thought that's a pretty slick idea, right? Makes sense to me. I don't know if they've done anything like that before, but whether it be bike races or running races, to have products, sponsor it, and then have products there to actually, try to promote during like an outdoor event. But doing that relative to rowing sound pretty smart to me. I don't know. I thought it was pretty slick. Not that I don't know. Maybe it doesn't produce any new sales. But if what they're doing, if this, whatever it's form assist or whatever it has, if that truly is some form of innovation And you don't have that in any other home rower in the space currently. And now you have people that are rowing aficionados, and they come to this thing and they see this innovation. To me, that seems like a pretty slick thing. So, anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. What else we got? I always question whether or not I should add the artist series stuff on the agenda, because sometimes it gets really little votes, and then other times they get a whole bunch of votes, but then nobody really cares about talking about it. once we get here. So Babyface Artist Series got votes. As if people are excited about the Babyface Artist Series. I don't know what date. Do they start tomorrow? I don't know when they start.
It starts tomorrow. There's two live classes, one a ride with Allie, a walk around with Kirsten, and then there's an on-demand class with Adrian.
Oh, okay.
So the cool thing about this was they sent out invites to this.
Oh, they did?
So for people, yeah. So some people got invited to come to the studio for this.
Okay.
It was not possible to sign up if you didn't get the invite, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, see, that I didn't know, but I just knew some people were invited, that there was an email that went out. So people, if you're not checking your Peloton emails, if you're letting them go to spam and you're not opening them, y'all could be missing out.
I see you in the chat, Aaron. You get an invite? Let me know if y'all got an invite. I have to look. I'm have to be looking out. But yeah, that's pretty cool that they're having these artist series. Hey, wait a minute. Let me back up. Is this simply an artist series? Or are we talking about something like the artist is going to be there?
Based on the email, he's going to be there. And the 2 classes that evening. He said he would be the host for the evening.
Oh, okay.
And that was included in an invite that went out.
Oh, okay. Okay. See this?
And it says you could bring a friend.
See, that's why these things are getting more interesting. See, now this explains the votes. So if it was just an artist series and just instructor doing a class playing somebody's music, I didn't get that many votes on that stuff. But this is now an event because the artist is there. Okay, that makes sense.
And it's coinciding with his new collaborative album, right? As well.
Oh, it is?
Correct. He has his album coming out, Girls Night Out, tomorrow, and that's why the classes are called Girls.
So wait a minute. Babyface has his album dropping.
So it's the album release party workout.
That's what I'm saying. Babyface has his album dropping, and he gonna be stopping by the Peloton studio on the album release date to do a workout.
So they took the Harry Styles one and took it up a notch.
You see what I mean?
They did the Harry Styles release party.
Well,
the Harry Styles wasn't there, and now they're taking it up.
Yep, taking it up.
But Lizzo was already released, though. Lizzo wasn't a release party.
But she was in studio, so it's like you said, combining Harry Styles and Lizzo, and keeps progressing.
But speaking of the Harry Styles type thing, Peloton's hinting they might do something similar tomorrow for the Taylor Swift album that comes out as well, which was, Harry Styles was at midnight, it drops. And it seems like on Twitter they're hinting they might do the same thing for Taylor Swift tomorrow.
Wait a minute. They might do the same thing with Taylor Swift. Dropped classes
at midnight. Or 4 a.m. to coincide with the album release. Kind of like they did with Harry Styles, where they just showed up overnight.
Coco Loco is cracking me up. She said, when we going to get a 50 Cent in-studio event? Okay. I'm thinking older hip-hop artists, though, like that. I'd be the only person there, though.
That makes sense, Sarah. Sarah said her album might be called Midnight. So maybe not releasing it at midnight. See, we don't know enough about Taylor.
See, that's what it is. We don't know enough.
They can keep Taylor. It's good. They could have kept Harry too.
Snap!
I was already.
Hold up!
Checked into that class and on a bike.
Oh, that deserves a button. Damn! Oh, that's rough. Okay. All right.
If I wasn't already clipped in, and it wasn't for the fact that Allie was teaching, I would have left that Harry Styles ride.
Coco Loco said, "Buster, a Buster in studio." Yeah. Okay. Now see, you talking my language now.
Oh, we forgot about T-Pain. T-Pain
That's
was
right.
in
T-Pain
studio
was in studio. That's right.
for the All for One.
Wow.
Yeah, but he wasn't a release. So that's what I was saying was they're stepping it up a notch by doing an actual release day and the artist in the studio at the same time. So
You're right, Coco Loco.
they're trying to bring it.
T-Pain looked like just like put him through the ropes. He looked like he was struggling.
He did. He was dying, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I like all the suggestions, though. I liked all the suggestions. But the pattern of this particular one with Babyface seems very interesting to me is that, I mean, generally, like, I would think that on an album release, they have, like, promotional events, right? And so on the day of the release, one of his stops is the Peloton studio. That feels like it says something, or maybe not. I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And in fact, I think there's something happening like around it too, like maybe after or something, because they've got the two classes that are relatively close together. And the fact that they did the whole invite only thing, and I don't know, it's really cool. So
on the Instagram thing that they posted, they, talked like there might be some drinks and stuff afterwards.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
that's kind of the hint I got from it, but I could have read that wrong.
Oh, you mean like post class in studio, some type of like
a party?
Yeah,
party
like
like a ladies' night out party.
Right.
That's
right.
That's how I took it.
I got you. That seems pretty cool. Like, I mean, if they continue to do this with artists in studio, it seems like it would just continue to drive interest in members trying to find ways to get to the studio. But also, it'd be, I think it would be almost more interesting if they started making some of these things more of a surprise, like Lizzo, right?
To your point about, driving member interest to try to get to the studio, they have the reverse problem right now. There's too much interest in trying to get to the studio.
Okay. Yeah. Which reminds me, I know we're out of time, but reminds me, remember we were talking last week about the issues with registration on the site, like getting classes. Has anything evolved with that? Has that changed at all? Or is it still kind of just the same process? You kind of sit in the queue and you wait and get in. Has that evolved at all? No.
It was the same this week as far as I know.
As bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, how much can they really even do about it, though? You know what I mean? Like, I liked the idea of a queue. It seemed to me like the numbering system, like the way I was hearing it, of where you were in line versus how long it took you to get in was a little off. But it seemed like I liked the idea of it. I don't know how well it was working. But
yeah, it seemed like people were having just as much of a hard time still getting into the classes as they were having before. I have yet to try and get into a class. So I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll actually try to book a class.
Yeah, I know. I got to do that too. I haven't really tried either, basically because of the what I've been hearing about how the process would have to work, and I'm the headache. It sounded like a headache, so I haven't tried. But yeah, I'll probably have to check it out.
I just feel like Peloton should pay me to come take a class. Like it's such a big deal for me to come for like one day. The one day I came and I took Kirsten's class, it was like $65 to park. It was like something ridiculous, like $60 in tolls. And you add gas, and that was like for one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, y'all should be paying me for this trip.
It ain't cheap. But anyway, let me get these last two in.
It's expensive.
Let me get these last two in before we go. Our Future Self with Alyson Felix. That hasn't dropped yet, right? Or that did drop. Has anyone seen that?
It did drop.
Okay. How was that?
I don't know. I didn't take it.
I know.
But I know it dropped.
I gotta check that out. Like, it seemed like I've been. I
heard that was a really good one.
Yeah, I've been a fan.
It was really good.
Oh yeah,
it was really good. It's the only I took two other classes of the Yourselves, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't listen to them. I put my headphones in and listened to my own music. That's the only one I actually listened to, and I thought it was really, really good. First of all, Ashton was dying, so that was pleasant.
Ashton was that. You sound like how I felt when I was watching the one with Alex, because that was hilarious.
Like Ashton couldn't even get his question out. I was like, oh, this is real. Like, he's running for real and he's dying right now, and I'm here for it.
Right.
But yeah, like Alyson had so much good stuff to say, and just the questions were really good. Her answers were amazing. It was good to listen to, her process about having a family and like what she went through in terms of being an athlete and, being a woman in the field. So I definitely recommend taking it. It was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I just assumed it probably was really good. I've been a fan of hers for a long time, and I like kind of her perspective on life and the things that are important to her. So like, it just seemed like it would probably be a good one. So yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was good, and it was considered a long run for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she said normally her long runs are like 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So,
right.
Because she's a speed runner, not a long distance runner. So,
right.
Anything longer than like 20 minutes, she considered to be like a long run.
Right.
So she was like, "This is the long run." I mean, she still looked like she was very casual and like she wasn't dying.
Right. I watched when you guys told me to watch the one with Alex and Chris Paul and Ashton Kutcher. That I watched that. That is the most hilarious thing. Alex is running 1,000,000 miles an hour. That is crazy. And then he doesn't seem like he's tired at all. And he keeps telling him to speed up, and he's warming up at like 7.5. I watch that sometimes now just to laugh. That is hilarious. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out, and having the conversation. I enjoy it. Like, all of this stuff kind of helps me kind of stay disciplined and have ideas of things that I should go listen to or watch or take or act like I'm taking it and watching it. So I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the leaderboard during the week. I think I will see, sounds like I'll see Tammy on the 6th. Oh, but we got a couple more wellness checks before then. But I'm looking forward to that. And if I don't...
You got to book a hotel.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not going to be able to get in and out of the city, right?
I'm not booking a hotel. I'm leaving.
That's what I was
planning
to
on
do.
Sunday, and I'm leaving on Sunday.
Is this going to be like, like on New Year's where you can't do that? You got to be in the city because there's too many people there? No?
No, you'll be able to get in the city. It's just getting from Staten Island. And, most of the runners don't start till 10, 11 o'clock anyway. So by the time they're in Manhattan, you have a few hours.
Oh, okay.
Just come with me to Steph's house. That's what I'm doing.
You know what I mean?
I'm just volunteering Steph's house. Just come over. Steph's house is like along the route. She's like walking distance from the route. So I'm just going to Steph's.
All right. Well, we gonna be there, and so Janetta, get ready. We gonna be there.
Boo! I was ready. I was born ready.
I'm gonna have my tequila for you.
Okay.
Yes, you cannot give me tequila that early because where you guys will be that's like mile what?
No. I'll wait in Central Park with the Casamigos. It'll be fine.
Okay, you gotta give it to me at the end because I'm trying to race. I said I was gonna take it easy. I will have fun anyway. But it's like if you give me tequila, I might just stop right there and finish. But save me the tequila for after.
Okay, will do.
Okay, cool.
Coco,
and thank you guys for going there and cheering for everybody. That's gonna be amazing fun and everything.
Well, you coming from a long way.
Hard for this shit.
You guys have been working so hard.
Coco's bringing drinks and body paint.
Yes, body paint. Yeah.
She still thinks her husband is running the marathon.
Oh, nice.
No, by husband, I mean Alex, not Lucas.
No.
Not her legal husband, her pretend husband.
You mean a guy who has a restraining order against her?
No.
Well, we're going to be out there cheering, so I can't wait to see you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, if I don't see you guys on the leaderboard, I'll check you guys out next week. All right? Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.